Would-be hurricane?
Yes, try to store that cheesecake up, get all your last minute supplies all in there in that hurricane kit today. And just a pro tip, if you do have any flights, right, today your flight should be good, at least up until the late evening hours. So try to move those flights up if you can, or if you must, you may have to go ahead and rebook those flights for Friday afternoon, because Thursday, no go for flying, no go for driving or any sort of traveling. Just want to tell you that. We do see the system is continuing to plume more of this cloud cover, and we see it sitting right there in the Caribbean, trying to use those warm waters to get better organized. This is the latest forecast advisory from the National Hurricane Center. And the major change that you need to know about while you were sleeping, the system looks like it's going to be very strong, potentially teetering at a Category 4. And it's slightly shifted the cone a little bit more towards the west. We're getting in better agreement with those models. The Big Bend of Florida over towards Tallahassee. If you have friends and family for FSU, any kids going to school there, make sure to pick them up today. You still have plenty of time today. It is going to be a normal day for the most part. We see those feeder bands are going to be moving through as we head into the evening. So take a look at the models, getting in better agreement. Here's the big if the tropical steering, there's a high and low pressure. So a lot of the models are trying to cut in between them, right? The system itself, Helene, the tropical storm, is wanting to take the path of least resistance and cut right up the middle of this low and high pressure. And that's why the Big Bend of Florida is going to be the area we see that landfall. So take a look at future radar. We see by noon on today that we have a hurricane potentially on our hands as it's leaving the Caribbean and pushing into the Gulf of Mexico. And it brings us our first feeder bands right here. First band of rain and wind could be coming between 8 to 9 o'clock tonight. So try to have all your plans and everything, the preps done by bedtime tonight. The system will continue to push to the north. You can see it will bring us the most amount of impacts heading into Thursday afternoon. By 3 to 5 o'clock, that's when the system will be just scraping by us. You can see that there. And then the landfall being pushed back to the later evening hours on Thursday. So heads up there. Storm surge is going to be the major threat that we have. So just keep that in mind, 5 to 8 feet for our area, guys. And that wind field very large. So that means those damaging winds could cause some power outages and other impacts. Speaking about those winds and all the impacts, we got meteorologist Mike Prangley here to go over those impacts along with your 7-day forecast. When's that when and where, Mike?
Well, great job, my teammate. And yeah, it's all about teamwork here. So Amanda, great job breaking that down. And let's take a look at the impacts. That's what matters most. So it's about the wind. All right, so our weather team had a little discussion this morning. If anything, in the new information overnight, slowed it down just a tad. Okay, so you see the biggest impacts coming in Thursday in the wee hours of the morning, 1 a.m. To Friday at 2 a.m. The big impact is this. This thing is huge. It's a huge storm. We're going to have a storm surge of 5 to 8 feet, which we've not seen in about 20 years. Rainfall of 3 to 6 inches plus, winds of 40 to some gusts to 70 miles per hour. So you need to know your zone. If you're told to evacuate, please do so. You're worth it, okay? Let's be safe with this one. We know the power of water here in Tampa Bay. Much more powerful than wind, that's for sure. So as we go county by county, let's take a look. We are watching the biggest impacts right now to the north of Tampa Bay, closer to where that high surge will be and the track. So if we look at that surge, it looks like it will peak between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. tonight. All right, so you see these tides, all the high and low tides. But the big thing to know, the highest water coming in as we head toward 11 o'clock as we go into Thursday night into Friday morning at 2 a.m. So that's it. Thursday, 11 p.m. to Friday at 2 a.m. As we take a look at those impacts, see the red? That's our hurricane warnings for coastal areas of Hernando, Pasco, up into Citrus County. And as we look at the overall impact, some of these areas could see a surge of maybe 6 to 10 feet plus. So we're watching that. Isolated tornadoes will also come in, especially on Thursday afternoon. To the south we go. Pinellas and Hillsborough County, main impacts during Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening, improving after midnight and as we go into Friday morning. But look at those winds, 45 to 65. There's that big surge and the heavy rain. So travel will not be advised. As Amanda was talking about, get to where you need to be by early this evening. We take a look at our Helene local impacts for Manatee and Sarasota counties. Rainfall 2 to 4 inches. I know we don't need any rain, but really the big concern I'd have is that surge of 3 to 5 feet along the coast. And again, winds of 40 to 60. And as we pivot inland, we talked about the huge size of this thing. So yeah, plenty of impacts for areas inland, and that does include isolated tornadoes, rain 1 to 3 inches, and 45 to 55 mile per hour gusts by the time you head out toward areas of Polk County, Hardy, DeSoto, and Highlands. So we'll keep you updated. For now, It's the calm ahead of the storm. And Sarah, it looks like things okay on the roadways.